How many people are present for this? Bonnie Nakebe, Jamaica. The laptop. Two people. I think we have two people. And hi everyone. If you can hear us, just let us know that you can hear us
down in the comment section.
Yeah. Oh, 7 people have joined. Hi everyone.
Guys.
How are you doing? Hi. Hi Andrew. How are you doing? Rodney, we see you right there. Hi ladies, I can hear you. Thank you so much for letting us know. We are very, very happy to be here today.
Yeah.
So I think we are going to give people, maybe we should give people like 1 minute
to join in.
Yeah, to allow
Hi everyone. Hello George. Valerie, we see you. Hello. Lewis, hi guys. Hello Lewis, how are you doing?
Kiki, hi twins. I'm so excited to be here. We're so happy to have you, Kiki. We are happy that you could join the live.
Right.
Hi, Sean. How are you doing? Thank you so much. We are waiting for more people to join. I see we already have 38 people who have joined. Let's just give people a minute to join. Meanwhile, let us know how you guys are doing. Where are you watching us from? And before we can continue, we just want to apologize for the quality because today we are using our laptop to go live.
Right.
Hi Michelle, how are you? Michael, Lynn, how are you doing? Sarah, it's good to see you guys. Let us know where you're watching us from, right?
Right.
Also, I do understand that for some people, right now, there are people who are waking up. There are those ones who maybe are preparing to go to work.
I see a very beautiful person, Sarah from, is it Barbados? Let me check your flag real quick, but I think it's Barbados. Please let us know if I'm right.
Right. Latoya, how are you doing? I see you. Cornelia, hi. Oh, you're from Rome.
Rome, like Romania or Rome in New York.
Let us know, please. There's Lynn from Toronto. Nice to have you. Hi, Dana. How you doing? Oh, St. Vincent. Sarah, thank you so much for clarifying. Can we check?
No.
The flags are similar. Show them.
Let me check.
The flags are similar.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you can see what we are seeing. The flags are very similar. So that's our bad, Sarah. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. I see some of you have joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah.
So this is going to be our second live officially, right? The first live I remember we held when we hit 50,000 subscribers, yeah?
Right. It was just 50,000 of us in this platform. And right now we are nearly hitting 100,000 subscribers, and we decided we should hold that event here together, right? Because right now currently our subscription is at let me check for you. Wow. Right now our subscription is at 99,982, meaning we are left with around 19 people to hit 100,000 subscribers,
and hopefully we might hit that while we are all together
in the live. But also if it happens after the live, we'll still just let you guys know, right? Right. So I see all of you are from very, very different countries. So right now in Africa, Kenya to be specific, it's at night, 10 p.m. But I do understand that some of you are waking up, others are having lunch, and others are going to bed.
Right. I see Valerie Beverly says it's 12:20 p.m. in the afternoon, Monday in the US where you're at. So you're about to have your lunch or you're having your lunch. Evans Rayola, I see you. Thank you so much for reaching out. Big shout out to you. Cassandra says she's from Chicago. Oh, Rome, New York. Okay, I didn't know there was a place in New York called Rome. Chev is from New Orleans. It's 2:21 p.m.
Mhm.
Wow. Marvin's
Oh.
World, we see you.
Hello,
Hi.
Marvin's World. We see a lot of people. We are all mixed in here, right?
Mhm.
Africans, Americans,
Oh.
and Caribbeans alike.
Mhm. I see an identical twin amongst us.
Oh,
Twin
where?
Techie,
Show
how are
me.
you doing here? Here's his comment.
Oh,
I'm an identical twin as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in.
Mhm.
So today's topic
Mhm.
is about not only celebrating with you our 100K milestone.
Yeah.
We also wanted just to have a little chat, right?
Mhm.
And before we start, at 50,000 subscribers, we told our subscribers a bit about our journey on YouTube, right? And the next 50,000 who have added on to the platform, they still don't know where we came from and how we came to settle in reaction videos, right?
How we came to do Black
Mhm.
American content
Mhm.
and trying to unite the African diaspora and
Mhm.
other melanated family from outside the
Mhm.
continent, right?
Right.
And so in today's topic, we're going to be talking about that, our journey.
Mhm.
And before we do so, we want to thank you so much. Right now, we have 66 people who've joined the live. Thank you so much
Mhm.
to all of you. Remember to like the video so that it can be
it can reach a
it can be
wider
pushed
audience.
by YouTube, right? Right. So before we do that, we want to thank you all so much. Getting to 99,000 has been quite a journey.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we are very
And-
grateful to all 99,000 of you.
Yeah, and we couldn't have gotten here without the support of each and every one of you, right? Right. So when we started YouTube back in 2023 August, we were at around 400 subscribers, right? And we started with a lot
When
of
was that?
August. It was
Last
August.
year?
No, not last year.
2023.
2023. Yeah, and we started with a lot of African content, and they were very supportive, especially the Somali community. It was just the warmest community there. And I remember our journey to monetization. Somali content was actually the one that made us monetize, right? So we received massive support, and doing our not reaction videos, but street interview videos is when we realized people from very different regions of Africa used to comment, and we realized that something beautiful was happening in our channel because it enabled Africans from different parts of the continent to just engage.
Come together in the comment section, unite, engage. Yeah, in short, we were just happy to create that community whereby people would join the comment section and talk to each other, clarify things if there's a misconception or misunderstanding,
Right.
And so that's just how our journey began on YouTube. And we got to a point where when we were trying to bridge the gap between the African countries, right? People commenting, we saw Kenyan Beast, I see you, much love to you. The Wanderlust Passport, greetings from USA. Greetings to you too, my dear. Thank you so much for joining. The Sundown, thank you so much. So much love to you. He or she's telling everyone to subscribe now. You've been told, subscribe, we hit that 100 as we are
100K subscribers as we are doing a live stream.
Right.
Right.
Chev, how you doing? You guys single-handedly were the catalyst of us African American women understanding you guys and vice versa. Wow, thank you so much. We don't carry that lightly. Real truth. Thank you so much for the super thanks.
We've just received the super thanks, guys. Thank you so much, Real Truth.
Right.
We appreciate you.
So yeah, we were talking about our journey and how we ended up doing what we are doing. Oh, I see a Jamaican in the house. I always love seeing my Jamaican people. We have a long history with people from Jamaica. And the Caribbean, right?
Yeah. And I think people from the Caribbean, mostly Jamaicans, and a lot of them from different parts of the Caribbean, were the ones who made us start becoming self-aware as melanated people.
Right.
Right.
So, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. Eju Konsuba from Jamaica here too. I see you and thank you so much. And then this fan of ours, I think this is the name he calls himself. And then we met the internet. We see you. I wasn't sure whether that was your name, but I think that is your username. So I'm glad he was the very first person to join the live. So we thank you for that. Yeah, so as we can continue, where were we? Yeah, we were talking about the purpose of which we opened our channel. Yeah, and our goal was just generally to create a space where to create videos and a space where people could come, congregate, have a lot of learning to do, have a lot of unlearning to do in terms of the ideas that they grew up with or what they grew up knowing. Are these the truths that were put in society growing up? Let's say, for example, if you knew something about a country, is that the truth? Or if it's not, we wanted to create a space where people from different countries could come and engage, interact freely on the comment section, as we clear up some misconception and also as we open each other's eyes in terms of like we are aware Africa is very different from the what we call first world countries, the Western countries. So we wanted to exchange those information. So when we started within Africa,
and the response we saw, it was very positive, and you could actually find someone like, let's say, from Ghana and someone like, let's say, from South Africa in our comment section, and they would just compare their countries in comparison to Kenya and what is the difference in terms of culture, what they experience in terms of culture. And through this journey, we landed on Jamaican content. Oh, my Jamaican people are Jamaican people are special people.
So we landed on Jamaican content, did a lot of street interviews about that. We were talking about what Africans thought about Jamaicans
and what they knew about Jamaicans growing up.
So keep in mind, these were their own opinions, what in accordance to what they were consuming, what was being put out in the media. And I found that there was a gap there because Jamaicans also, maybe a lot of them had heard about Africa, but engaging like with Africans
like
in
one-on-one,
up close like that, it wasn't really there. So we decided to provide that platform. And it was a beautiful journey.
And I came to realize one thing, as I always say, Jamaica and the Caribbean, but mostly Jamaicans, are very aware of their culture. And I found for the most part, they knew more about Africa than I myself even knew about Africa. And I found that to be very, very interesting about Jamaicans, right? And then Jamaicans actually really helped our platform to grow. They uplifted us, And I think back then we were from 3,000 to 25,000 subscribers.
Guys,
when we were covering Jamaican content.
King Roy Ellis, we see you. You're a Jamaican in the house. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. Brother Brandon, Black Americans loves our Kenyan family. Thank you so much. So much love to you guys as well. Valerie Beverly, I learned to call white people palm colored from you too.
Oh, and we learned it from TikTok. But thank you so much.
St. Lucia in the house. Woo! Wow, it's nice to see you.
Hi, guys.
How do you say St. Lucia? I mean, hi. How do you say hello from your country in St. Lucia? Because I do understand that you
different regions have different languages. We see African Streamliner. Hi, how are you doing? Hope you're fine. We also see so. Hi guys. Hi guys. And then there is Pampota from Chicago. We see you. Hello.
Fort Worth raised. I see a lot of my fellow Black Americans in here. We have a huge platform of Black Americans in the house.
I think they're the biggest percentage. Like, if I'm not wrong, I would say they're 60% of our audience.
And then the other 40%
are people from all over Africa and the Caribbean.
And other regions, Europe. And Europe, So we were telling a story. Yes.
G has told us if you want to say hello in the language that St. Lucians use, you say sakafete.
It's sakafiti or sakafete. So to all our St. Lucians, people who are in the house, sakafete.
Okay.
Hello from Staten Island. I've heard about Staten Island, mostly in movies. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Maybe we've
we'll
come across creators from the region. Hopefully one day when we start traveling, because those are in future plans.
Yeah.
When we start traveling, it's one of the places we'll come to visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one, hello from California. Hi, how are you
How
doing?
you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kenyan Explorer. Hey, Maren.
Oh, we have Kenyans in the house. I'm loving the support.
I'm glad they've come out to say hi. It's nice to see you guys.
Yeah. Odd Negros official. Hi. Oh, Yvette is saying the greeting, sucker feet. Sucker feet. Yeah. So that is the correct way to say it.
Okay.
Are you guys going to do a meetup? I would love to travel to come. You guys, if you ask us to do a meetup, that is what we are going to do.
And then you vote on the location. That is what we are going to
we'll
do.
make sure it happens.
We'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, we'll make sure it happens.
Yeah.
Kiki B. Oh, we've responded to Kiki. Wanderlust passport tuko pamoja. That is tuko hapa. That's Swahili.
That is a Swahili word. Okay, we are glad to see you under passport.
Yeah. Brother Brandon, I can't tell the difference between you twins. Okay, I don't. Our camera is right here.
Yeah, it's down here. It's not
at the
up
bottom.
there.
So that is where you see our. We don't know
Our
where
eyes
to
get
look.
lost here because
Up here.
Normally it should be here,
but it's at the bottom of the screen.
Yes,
it's here. So one brother is saying he doesn't know the difference between the two of us. I would say we do have differences, although it's easier for you to tell us apart if you're near us. Then you can see the physical differences. Like for example, Maureen has a birthmark here.
Yeah.
It's a black. It's a black here. Yeah. This one. A black dot.
Maren,
I don't know
before
what
you
people
go
call
on,
it.
someone has brought important message here. His handle is at Fenrir. He's asking, are you guys gonna do a video on the Africans in Kenya who were stoning Black Americans for telling them that Jesus was black? I actually didn't know this. It's the first time I'm hearing of it, but we're gonna look it up.
But we can explain the psychology behind it.
We can explain the psychology behind it, because I don't know. I think I heard it in passing. Someone said this, but I didn't know the whole context of it. Yeah. So as of this, a lot of Africans, including those Kenyans, they really think that Jesus was Caucasian,
and
they believe that Jesus is Caucasian.
Yeah, for them, if you tell them Jesus is not Caucasian, that's like committing blasphemy.
That is like committing blasphemy to them. So if this event happened, we'll look into it and then give a full report from an informed point of view, right? Yeah. I see people are joining. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, we're sorry for cutting you short in our story. I think we'll be doing that because we also want to read some of your comments.
Yeah, we want to respond to as many comments as possible.
Yeah. So we were talking about our journey on YouTube. We got to interact with Jamaicans through the content we were doing about Jamaicans.
Yeah. And I think even me, that was the first time I knew that Jesus was black. To be quite honest, I didn't know Jesus wasn't black.
Yeah.
So a lot of our self-awareness and awakening happened during last year, from Jamaicans and Black Americans alike, because most of you, I realized, you know all of this information that we are now only just getting to,
and we are finding out, we are uncovering the real information. Yeah, so everything just happened in a year. The growth of our channel, us coming into these beautiful people. Right now we are at 99, almost 100K. Yeah. So it all happened in a year, and I feel like our goal is normally to provide value for people, and to also have, like, when we are creating content, we are always very big on providing content that brings value and has a purpose, you know. So that is really what was driving us. And through that, our biggest purpose was to connect the diasporans.
Just a minute. There's another subscriber. The handle is at Cell. He's saying, I don't know if it's a he or a she. He's saying he's from Ghana, and he also found out that Jesus was black last year too. So meaning a lot of Africans don't know,
and that
it's
is
just
something.
a few percentage of Africans who know this information.
And this is only known when an African interacts, like when you have the rarest pleasure
of
to
interacting
interact
with
with the diasporans, either people from the Caribbean or Black Americans. But if an African does not interact
Ever
with
meet
these people, then they don't get to know this information. That is why a big percentage of Africa, I would say, like the people who are self-aware is accountable number, a lot of them don't know this information because a lot of people, the problem is a lot of people in Africa, it's like they're cocooned and they don't get information and they don't travel, you get. So they live in their own bubble, so they don't get to interact with the outside world. But right now internet is becoming very very a common commodity in Africa. So at least like that, when we get to interact on the streets of social media like YouTube, TikTok, people get to know this information because to some extent there are platforms that don't really censor this kind of information, you know. So you see, our brother who was mentioning that there are Kenyans who decided to stone Black Americans because the Black Americans were telling them that Jesus was not white. At least now, even if they did that, now they know.
Now they've
heard it.
And
you know,
if they come across someone else who will tell them the same information, it will force them to go out there and do their research, right?
Yeah. So we can continue. Right. So how we came into Black American content, but I feel like we are taking this so fast. We asked people on the comment section to send us their questions, and a lot of you had nothing but good things to say, mostly congratulations. But I feel like there was a subscriber who had a question, and I feel like
really
his
loved
questions,
his question.
I liked his question, so we are going to read it to you. And he was genuinely curious, and I felt like it would be a good way to open up the live stream with his question. So our brother asked, I don't know if it was a brother or a sister, they asked, when did you realize we as Black people were lied to and placed in illusions all over the diaspora of our people? So his question is, he had several questions, like 4 in one sentence. You can go in the community tab to check. So he asked, when did you realize we as Black people were lied to and placed in illusions all over the diaspora of our the diaspora of our people?
Personally, I realized that last year when I started doing reaction videos, because even when we say there's a lot of things that we know right now that we didn't know back then, and we are still learning a few more things, you get. It's because last year we got to debunk a lot of misconception about just the Black population and Black Americans in general, you know. And because previous to last year, guys, we had been sold a narrative here in Africa. We come from Kenya. We had been sold a narrative of how the Black America is, you know. And throughout last year, we've been working to disconstruct what we know and compare it to what we don't know, you see.
Right. And you find that it's not just us, but unfortunately, and I'm going to say this is unfortunate, that a lot more Africans still think like this, because the only way they get to engage or interact with Black Americans is the exposure they get from movies, you know. But and then back then, this year is when I've genuinely realized that Black Americans, and I think more of them are discovering that there are countries in Africa they can come to visit for themselves, because even a lot of Black Americans are trying to learn about the real truth about Africa, so they want to come and experience that for themselves, you know. So just like that, Africans, majority of them have not gotten to the point where they are questioning everything they've been getting from the media. So a lot of them still believe, unfortunately, that Black America's population, majority of them are lazy. We used to be those people, and I'm not going to lie, we used to be those people also. We used to think like that because the only interaction we had with them was through movies, right?
And I think even us, we weren't in social media up until
just last 1 year ago.
1 year ago is when we really immersed ourselves in the internet, and TikTok has really taught us a lot, because you know, there you are meeting one-on-one creators from all over the place, especially America, you know, and they started challenging our point of view to a point where up until last year we used to enjoy watching just from movies from an entertainment point of view. But ever since we started doing reactions and getting into the kind of information we've gotten so far, nowadays you don't just watch movies, like
you can clearly see what they're trying to do. So if they do something you like, this is what they're doing, and you
Or
know
a
they're doing
narrative they're
that
pushing,
thing.
yeah.
They're pushing a bad narrative towards the Black community for a good reason.
And I think it's important to mention whatever triggered that conscious awareness, if I may say, is during our time in the streets when we were doing Jamaican
Interviews.
content, right? And then we met other creators in the streets. Some of you may know their channels already. We met creators who are doing Black American content already, right? And then they asked us some very interesting questions about Black Americans. And then we told them that based off of what we had seen on television, this is the narrative we were taught to believe about Black Americans. And then they themselves, after shooting, they challenged us. Why do you think this, that, and the other narrative is the kind of narrative that is being pushed to you? And then they just told us this, yeah? Just go take some time, sit down, do research about this particular topic, then come tell me that tomorrow through WhatsApp or wherever when we would meet again, And that is how we started becoming self-aware and interested in such topics we cover today.
Right, and that was the beginning of our journey of awakening, right?
Yeah,
and I always have to say,
as reactors,
I have to say, guys, there's power. Like, I've genuinely seen this. There's power in the Black community coming together. It doesn't matter if you're from Africa. It doesn't matter if you're from the Caribbean. It doesn't matter if you're from America. It doesn't matter. You just have to come together to see if it's going to work. And when you're coming together, you have to keep an open mind, knowing that whatever you may know might be the truth, but it might also not be the truth. So be ready to learn, And that is what we came in with, an open heart. And since then, I can say, like, we've really, really learned a lot of things about the Black community. And right now, let me just say, a lot of eyebrows. We normally raise a lot of eyebrows because we now know not to take in everything. You have to
keep questioning. And sometimes you might even walk in rooms where of course you find some still Africans that have quite a journey to go in their self-awakening, right?
Journey.
And you feel like you're so out of place because when you hear some of the utterances they make, of course they do it out of ignorance because they don't know, but you try to explain to them, but you feel like an outsider because you hold very different views from what they view as right now.
Right, so it's a journey, but I don't believe it's impossible. It's a long journey that I feel like both ways, both our Black American brothers and sisters and the Africans from the continent. It's a long journey we have to walk through together in order to accept and educate each other. Yeah. So another question he asked, just from his questions.
Yeah, he asked subscribers to send in their questions.
Yeah.
So today we are just basing on the questions they asked us, right?
Yeah. So after he asked us when we realized we as Black people were lied to, he then went on to ask, how did it affect you and or your life? That's a very interesting question. After realizing that the Black community has been lied to, how did it affect your life? I don't know if you'd like to start with that.
Okay, let me start with that. So, before reaction videos, to be quite honest, I didn't really used to think as of Black Americans as people who are facing racial injustices.
Yeah, that is one thing we didn't know.
Yeah, because we didn't used to see. We've only seen, because of social media, things like Sonia Messi case.
Right.
But one-on-one, our media,
they don't
news channels, they don't really show that part of America, right? We only see the glamorous parts, So before this journey, as when we think of America, we'd relate to them as their entertainment scene, like, for example, their music, their TV shows, their what is it called, their
culture,
reality shows, and most importantly their cultures, but never in the lens of their struggles and how what they were facing in America every day. We didn't used to understand that. And to be quite honest with you guys, they usually say someone has to walk a mile in your shoe in order for them to understand what you're going through. And pertaining that, maybe because we don't physically live in America to experience it day by day, we will never fully understand the full scope of what is happening in America. But right now, what I can say with confidence is that Africans are watching and Africans do see what is going on, and we are hearing what is going on, and we cannot know what Black Americans fully go through, but you can only imagine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and whatever you can do to contribute in a way to support, that is what we will do, right? So me personally, if I can answer how it affected, how knowing we've been lied to affected our lives personally, I really, really feel so bad, because knowing the things I know now, I wish, like personally, I wish our people they all could look for this information and know the truth for themselves. That is what I'm wishing, because not knowing, there's something that, was it Dr. Umar? There's something that someone said, if you're robbed of knowledge of oneself, I think it was Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said, if you're robbed of self knowledge, when you lack the knowledge that you should be getting, it's going to affect even how you act. And I feel like we, as the melanated community
in
Africa, it doesn't matter if it's in Africa or anywhere else, the moment we don't know other people's struggles, the moment we lack that awareness, it means even trying to understand their struggles is going to be difficult. And that is why you find some people who, of course, speak out of ignorance, and at the time they don't know, they say Black Americans like complaining a lot, because they don't know the knowledge why Black Americans bring issues on social media or bring issues to light, So instead, they choose to say that they're complaining a lot, or this and that, So me personally, how it's affected my life again is that, other than feeling sad that our community has been robbed that the real information they need to know in order for them to know how to integrate with our other melanated diasporans. Another thing I could say is, like, I don't feel like I'm the same in terms of anything I consume right now. Like, it's very intentional, and I'm always questioning things. Like right now in Africa, especially Kenya, we don't have a big population of palm colored people, but right now
the amount of them who are coming in the country is highly noticeable.
It's highly noticeable. So right now, even if you meet one of them in the streets, like I have a lot of questions, and I look at them differently. As some of you know, Africans have been it's been drilled into them to kind of worship the white skin. So a lot of them see them as their savior. Yeah? So personally, I feel like doing this kind of content has awakened that side of me. And right now, you question everything. You look at them differently.
Right now, even myself, when we meet with them here in Africa, the palm colored people, I just look at them and I ask or wonder to myself how they're being treated so well here in Africa. Why do they then treat people who look like us or people who are melanated in general? Why would they treat them badly in the other countries? And then when they come to Africa, some of them, not all of them, right? Some of them pretend to be good to Black people.
Right. It doesn't happen. So let's go to the next question he asked. Is that what triggered the motivation to start your channel, to spread awareness to our people? So what triggered us to start reaction videos so that we can be able to spread awareness? I feel like it's the interview we did. There's an interview we did where we were asked what we thought about Black Americans, and what we said in that interview is, it's not what we think, but what has been pushed onto us Africans, the narrative that is sold out there.
Right. And in the interview, we actually told the audience to leave us comments on the comment section
for whatever is
any of our views was wrong.
Right.
And we saw most of them left some very educative pieces on the comment sections, and they also refer us to other creators and or professors like Louis Farrakhan and this lady
Dr. What's her name? I've forgotten the name.
But we did an episode on her last month, right?
Dr. Welsing.
So we started following such works,
and I felt like because at that time we had a platform, I felt like it was a responsibility on us to correct other like-minded people who did not know so much but were consuming things from the media or anything in order to get any kind of information,
Oh,
so
Valerie, thank you so much. She's corrected us. It's Dr. Welsing Cress. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
So what motivated us really was the interview we had done, and we had seen the engagement we from, because it wasn't our channel, it was on a different channel.
Yeah.
And they really, Black Americans really corrected us, and they were so nice, even giving us references and telling us, go check out this, we do that, go check out this, we do that. And we were
And
like,
I remember at the time also we had to sit down and evaluate everything we thought we knew, because we were like, how could we have gotten it so wrong,
Right. So I feel like that was the beginning of our interest being triggered, if you can say, because we wanted a place where, because we also have a lot of Africans who are watching, and I was like, there's no need for us to have this information all to ourselves. We feel like you create a better space through educating others,
And I came to realize it wasn't only us. Even on TikTok, I was so happy that the younger generation, younger than us,
they're
putting in the work to really know the true history of slavery and colonization,
Right.
because most of them right now have information that us
at their age,
us at their age, we were busy just walking so ignorantly and blissfully existing in Africa without knowing the real truths we needed to know about melanated people.
Right. So we wanted to be part of creating that change, at least. Whoever our video, what we normally say is, we don't know how far, when we do an episode, we don't know how far it's gonna go, but what we want to do is, whoever it's going to land on, we want them to come out of that episode educated, better informed, because we know, just like us, it doesn't happen. It's not like ignorance is not specific to a certain group. It could be, it's not limited to a certain group or continent. It could be different places from different regions. Like, for example, a person in Africa might have the same belief with a person from Mexico, with a person from Europe, but everything you're saying could be stereotypes, But when you create an episode and you start educating people, these are the same people who come across your information and they become better informed, So I feel like that is, we just wanting to push that knowledge out. Whatever we come across, we want to share it, and because we know there's someone else who's looking for information, and it could be the information that we have come across. So that is why we do what we do, right? Someone asking also, he asked, do you have any struggles breaking free of colonialism? If so, how do you work through it? That is a very important question, guys. I feel like I want to ask all of you here. We have 125 people watching right now. I want to ask all of you. This question we are going to answer, but I want it to be for all of us. Yeah. Do you have any struggles breaking free of colonialism? If so, how do you work through it? That's a very good question. And I feel like I'm going to answer this first, and then if you have anything to say, you can answer. Yeah, breaking out of colonialism, like the mindset, it's not easy, because just picture this. Since childhood, you've grown up listening and reading things about things, even just our own selves. There's a way, even the history in Africa is not really ours. It's been altered,
So if you written through somehow the lens of the
colonizer. Yeah, so if you grow up being shown that white people are coming into Africa
and
to
they're coming
save
with
starving
nothing but
children,
help.
they're coming with nothing but help. Yeah, because that is how we grew up. You're seeing white people coming into Africa, they're bringing help, they're feeding kids in starving areas, and that is all you see. So then you grow up with that mentality that white people are saviors, and black people, us black community, we are related to nothing but struggles. Like, there's nothing good that can come out of your community. That is like a mental struggle you're going to have to grow up with for you to have to change your way of thinking. So yeah, breaking free of the colonialism, I feel like it's an everyday struggle, and it's an everyday work, but it's not impossible, it's not undoable. Yeah, we do still struggle with it, but right now we are self-aware. When something happens, I feel like you're able to know what is happening.
Right, but the masses in general, I feel like they still have a long way to
The
go.
colonial chokehold is strong.
Yeah, and I feel like for the most part, it is our leaders and our educational system that still has us in the colonial path,
right,
serving the colonial masters, if you know what I mean. The minute we change and have good leadership, like in Burkina Faso, and along with it we change
something.
yeah, and along with it we change our educational systems, Africa will start breaking
guys
free.
I don't know
But
how many
now,
of you follow Burkina Faso's news, but allow me to mention, because I feel like it's relevant to what we are discussing about colonial, breaking free of colonial mindset. Yeah, Burkina Faso, when Ibrahim Traore came into power, he has managed to pay the whole country's debt. He's managed to build schools that previously were looking like it was impossible to do. When Ibrahim Traore,
I think he's given himself a time limit to end, like completely end homelessness in Burkina Faso. And according to him, this is because if someone doesn't have the basic need of a shelter, they won't be in a position to build their country.
exactly.
So right now he's working on those projects to build homes and give them to homeless people.
Yeah, so what I see Ibrahim Traore doing, I feel like he's trying to decolonize the mind of his people. And one action that can prove that is when he banned the colonial wigs for this legal system, judges and lawyers. He said in Burkina Faso they need to have their own outfits, and that is, I feel like, one way of going about it, decolonizing the minds of the natives.
Just through doing little things like that. Because even in Burkina Faso school systems, he said that schools are completely forbidden from wearing Western uniform. So schools were ordered to wear African attire, incorporate African attire in their uniforms. So you see, the kids growing up in Burkina Faso, and
just a minute. Hi, Silver Fox. I see you've joined. I had to say hi because I have to recognize Silver Fox has been our biggest fan. He's literally seen us grow. Right? Hi, Valerie. How you doing? Yeah, we can continue.
Okay, so what was I saying?
I
was saying, so guys, the children who are growing up under Ibrahim Traore's regime right now, they won't have the same thinking process as children who are growing in Kenya. Why? Because the leader in Burkina Faso right now is trying to cut ties with colonization, and in turn he's physically doing things to start changing it slowly by slowly through their educational systems, and just how he's structuring Burkina Faso's finances.
Right. And you guys, you tell me where you've had an African leader who's had the audacity and guts
to stand up
to
for
say
what
no to a previous colonial master, and even send their air flights away. But Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore did it, So I'm saying, if Ibrahim did this, can you tell me if the whole of Africa said they don't want for colonial powers to, or the powers that be, to interfere with their countries or regions,
it will be a long and deadly fight, but at the end of the day, in the long run, Africa would really start to thrive.
Right.
So as for now, do we think neocolonialism will end anytime soon? I feel like it's
gonna be a long time,
to be quite honest, because right now not a lot of people are awakened. Not even a lot of people right now don't even know they're under neo-colonial rule.
Right. A lot of people don't know
live and exist.
But do you guys know, if you're self-aware, you can be able to see the pieces that are being moved, and you're asking yourself, there's a reason why Black Americans didn't used to come into Africa. There's a big reason why they thought they shouldn't come into Africa. And there's a reason why Africans also had certain views for Black Americans. There's a big reason.
And why is time in the memorial, when all this division was going up, there was just one part of one group of people who would feel planes coming to Africa. You'd see them in sandy beaches, buying property, enjoying the best life that cheap Africa had to offer. So but right now I'm glad that every melanated people are waking up and finding opportunities for themselves, not only in Africa but all over the world. Because I, for one, I really have curiosity for the Caribbean islands, because you see a country like Jamaica, let's say, it was so interesting to see just the amount of black people are in Jamaica that are in Jamaica,
Right.
because guys,
And
through
the striking similarities.
because through the content creators who are coming from Kenya, who are in the Caribbean, I don't know how
Right.
many of you in our platform know a content creator called African Tigress. We've seen her videos in the Caribbean as she talks to Jamaicans, as she talks to people from Trinidad and Tobago, and
Right.
some of them really look like Africans. Their mannerism, their warm laughter.
The only
It's like
difference is the accents they used to speak.
you know.
Otherwise,
It's like
they
a
are
warm
all
feeling of being home outside of Kenya.
Yeah, it's like you look at them and you're like, these people, like literally, it's like a country in Africa in a different continent. If that makes sense, guys.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm trying to check where we are at currently in terms of subscribers. Oh, we are at 9,986
subscribers.
Right?
Right. So we might clock 100K subscribers today by midnight, maybe. If not, maybe early tomorrow we'll have clocked 100,000, right? And we just
by
wanted
midnight,
to.
I feel like
it might be by midnight anyway. And we just wanted to thank you guys for joining our family and walking this journey together with us, right?
We only have 12 people to go before we hit 100,000 subscribers. Yeah.
Right.
And by then, before we get lost into it again, I wanna thank our channel members so much. Our channel members, we wanna thank you so much because you guys, you have contributed to the community we are, right?
Yeah, right.
And we want to give you a big thanks, and to our subscribers as well. We have newbies who've just only joined the channel recently.
Yeah,
We wanna thank you all, to thank all of you for subscribing.
Yeah, and we warm-heartedly welcome you to the family, right?
Right? Yeah. So I think we can continue. Yeah, I see people are having fun in the comment section, and I'm glad you guys are having fun. As we wait for 100,000, I feel like 100,000 might catch us on our live. If not,
African Stream, from your mouth to God's ears. African Stream is telling us on the comment section that we'll reach 100K subs before midnight. Amen. Amen.
Ariel Wilson, how are you doing? So Ariel Wilson, actually, let me share in a secret. We have a niece called Ariel, and our very lovely niece. She's still small.
Yeah,
she's about to turn 2 years. We're excited for that. So you your name reminds us of our niece.
Yeah.
So Ariel is saying America doesn't actually teach history, especially non-white history. Before Trump took office, I bought a ton of history books and already learned so much.
Okay.
Wow, I love that. That is really nice because I've seen Trump is trying to really do some things and wipe others away.
Yeah, in his own words, he say he's trying to rewrite the correct history.
Whatever that means in his opinion, yeah. So I think we can continue. Oh wow. Mercy, how are you doing? Stoning, the abbreviations IUIC will be regretted. They are not your enemy, Kenya. I do agree
with you on that.
Yeah, it has been brought to our attention that those are Black American preachers who came to Kenya and they were trying to educate Kenyans about Jesus not being white, and those Kenyans ended up stoning them.
But I feel like, guys, please don't give up on teaching Africans and melanated people who are in the continent. Don't stop teaching them about these things, because even if there are a few that don't want to accept the truth, eventually this truth is good for all of us, because it's in becoming aware and awakening that Africa will truly achieve its true potential and greatness.
Yeah, the truth has to be there. Just don't give up on them, because keep in mind, right now
wait a minute. Kenyan Beast, we love you too. And then there is a subscriber. Guys, let's welcome the new subscriber, Johnny T Zion.
Where?
Here.
Oh, Johnny T Zion. Thank you so much for subscribing.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So what were we saying? Yeah, it's gonna take some time because right now, I kid you not, if you come, I can take you myself in any random church you pick and choose. When
And
you
then you
walk
go
into
and
a church, the Jesus that is portrayed
trade
is a
this.
white Jesus.
Yes.
And not a
Very
lot of
white.
Africans are coming into this information, so they don't know. They still believe that Jesus is white, and all the biblical figures that were changed,
Yeah,
them
were
they still
white.
have the version that was put out there. So for them, think of it this way: when you come and tell them that the person they believe and worship is not the person they know to be,
Yeah.
they feel like you're committing blasphemy. So but at least that information is out there, and I hope they do take themselves to do this research.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there is another subscriber, Kuya. He's asking, how do Kenyans react to this new information about the West? So let me answer that question, right? So I can say majority of the people who are open-minded to how the West is, the news about the West is the younger demography. They are very open-minded because
Yeah.
I believe because most of them have not been deeply brought up in church system than, but older demography, let's say like 35 and above,
They grew up in
some
that.
of them are the
32.
hardest
You can
nuts to
even come
crack.
down to 32.
32
Yeah.
years old and above, most of them are the hardest nuts to crack, but there's a good number of them who are woke, but a bigger number who are not woke.
Yeah, but the young generation is
they're taking it well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a comment I was looking for, but I think it has disappeared. This Devin says we need to embrace our gifts and accept our differences. We need to agree to not be separated. I do agree.
Right.
I do agree. You know, guys, by the way, what I can tell you is if you ever had any, what is it called, any curiosity about Africa or whatever country, just make that decision. Come for a week. If you can come and then have the experience for yourself, right?
I think you might go back home with a different view. Yeah, most Africans, the ones who've traveled, they also come back with a different view, right? Yeah.
Odd Negroes official says Black Americans need to separate until we get our reparations. We have issues with other ethnic groups. I do understand where you're coming from. I do get it. And personally, if you ask me, I've seen and we've through our researches, we know about reparations and why it's required, yeah. But we also know that there's powers that be, and not just necessarily powers that be, but even in America, people who are resisting that. But personally, I do feel like
who are working against reparations being paid.
Yeah, I do feel like that would really go a long way into kind of correcting what has been done. Nothing will ever measure or correct what was done to Black Americans, but
at least
it will be
a sign of acknowledgement that wrong was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Devin says the problem with the United We Stand part is the leadership. True.
Very
if you have,
true,
if you
very
don't,
true.
you know, okay, they normally say not everybody can be a leader. So whoever leads you, if that person was not meant or born to be a leader,
they're going to lead you into oblivion.
Exactly.
So most of our leaders, especially in the melanated community, some of them, let me speak for the African community, some of them lead us to oblivion because they serve their own interests, and to the other, you know, demography of people can be damned for all they care. Right. But leadership is a very important factor in unification of the Black communities. Yeah. Oh, Darlene, how are you? We've received your greetings. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so guys, I think we're about to finish our live stream. I don't know if you feel like there's something we have not covered, we can cover it before we end. Because I feel like the live stream is about to come to an end. Yeah. So if there's anything, we are checking the comments right now. If there's anything you feel like we've not touched on that you'd wish us to touch on it, kindly let us know. Yeah, let us know kindly if there's anything you'd like us to touch on before we leave. But generally, we want to say, guys, thank you so much. Like you guys, I have to say, I acknowledge that we do have, to me, you are the best community we can ever ask for. And I'm really, really grateful for you, because a lot of you, I would say a big majority of you, 99.999% of you are very positive audience. You guys are good. You don't shy from sharing your opinions. You don't shy from educating us all on the comment section. And we really, really feel your warmth wherever we are. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Phoenix is saying, I feel like reparations should come in the form of land and infrastructure.
Right.
Wow, guys, let us know your thoughts on that. And Phoenix, when you say land and infrastructure, where exactly would you like that to happen? Because I do understand that there are some Black Americans who say they want land in, when they talk about reparations in form of land and infrastructure, they want it in America. But there are those ones who wouldn't mind if, like, that could happen here in Africa. There are those ones who don't mind. So you can let us know. Kuyakude, thank you so much. I love the work you're doing. Thank you so much. Troy Lewis, how are you doing? I'm glad to see you. Darlene, how are you doing? This is my first time live with you, twins. I love your content.
Welcome, Darlene.
Keep pressing and pushing. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Darlene. Hopefully, this is not the last. We'll be preparing and letting you know in advance, right?
Right.
We are so happy and humbled to have you here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Woo, guys.
10 people left to 100K. I saw Pam Potter. You wrote, no, it wasn't Pam Potter. Someone, I've lost that comment. Someone was congratulating us for 100K. I rushed to my studio to check if we have hit 100K
We are
subs.
almost.
We are very, very close. Just 10 people left.
Yeah. Oh, Valerie is asking how you say hello and goodbye. Okay, in our language, the national language in Kenya is English. We have
languages.
English and Swahili.
Kiswahili.
Kiswahili is the language spoken in East Africa. So yeah, in Kiswahili we say,
if you want to say hello, we say habari.
Habari.
Habari. That is hello, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to say goodbye in Kiswahili, unasemaje?
I think we
kwaheri. Yes, guys.
Yeah, kwaheri.
In Kiswahili, if you want to say goodbye, you say kwaheri. And then ethnicity now, as we come from the Luo tribe, right? Lupita's tribe.
Oh, so we come, by the way, you guys,
for
how
those
many
who
of you know
Lupita?
Lupita? We come from Lupita's tribe, the Luo community of Kenya. So that is our ethnicity. Oh, there's somebody called Jani Tizion. I hope I'm saying you correctly. She's saying, I'm already building in Ghana. My reparations will be spent there. First of all, congratulations. I know the journey to build is not
an
easy,
easy one,
especially if you're a foreigner. So maybe one day we could have you on a live. We talk about
how the
journey
was.
Yeah, you managed to build.
Yeah,
that is a big deal.
Yeah, in case other melanated people are looking to go through the same process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phoenix, I just feel like individual checks will be wasted. Instead of being invested in the Black community, it should be helpful for generations, just like the trauma lasts for generations. Yeah, it needs to be something that is gonna really benefit not just individuals but also generations
to come down the line.
Right. So I do agree with you. So guys, I think we can end the live stream there, and we are really 108 of you. Do you know how happy we are? Our first live stream. This would be the second official live stream.
Yeah.
The first official live stream we held at 50,000, and the non-official live stream we did it when Kenya was protesting against the finance bill.
Yeah. So I see there's also another person who's sending his greeting. Max Van Wasser
Van Max.
Wasser Van Max. I don't know how to respond in French because you say, I think that is French, right?
Hello, let's twins. How are you? Max, we are fine, thank you. Alex, I love your videos. You both are amazing. I just subscribed. Thank you so much. So
Thank
you are
you.
our one subscriber, and we will never forget. Let me check so that I never forget.
So that it sticks.
Yeah. Yeah, you are our 99,991
subscriber.
Yeah, 91 subscriber.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you so much for subscribing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Karim Diop, would any of you marry me? I mean, okay, I can respond to that. First of all,
Karim, do you have a twin?
If you're listening, just respond there because we are waiting.
We are waiting. If you have a twins, chances will be very high because we don't want to separate after we get married.
That's true.
Yeah,
the most separation we are willing to do is
become immediate neighbors.
Maybe, for example, let's say, if we are buying homes, we can buy homes. Oh, Troy,
hi. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi. Yeah, so the most we are willing to compromise on is becoming neighbors, right? So that we can also get to see each other
like all regularly. The time. And we do feel like marrying twins would enable us to live close to each other.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be twins per se.
Just understanding men who understand that you don't want to separate after marriage.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, Karim. I also think so. Swahili is the most spoken language in East Africa, because even in Central Africa, countries like Congo do.
Oh yeah, they do speak Swahili.
Bits of Swahili here and there.
Although they do add their dialect in there, but they do speak Swahili.
Max is telling us in Swahili, this life should not end. We should continue going. Yeah. Oh my.
Silver Fox, I have a twin, lol. Oh, Silver Fox, that increases your chances.
If you have a twin.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Guys, thank you so much for joining our live. We really appreciate you. And I feel like this was up close and personal with all of you. And I think we'll hold another one maybe anytime soon. Yeah, because also holding live sometimes is usually very
takes planning.
Yeah, planning, and it's also kind of very intimidating because this is live.
Yeah, we are talking to you live and direct.
Right.
And by then we are not so we were supposed to begin at 10 p.m. At exact time, our local time. So we got late by maybe 5 minutes because we were still trying to set up, knowing what does what
where. So
yeah, we are still learning. The live community.
We are still learning the workings of that. Yeah.
Oh, Max is saying, tell us a little bit of what, now that you have attained this milestone of 100K.
Wow, that's very interesting.
I feel we are still new to it, but what you can definitely feel is how the audience is growing, how the community is growing,
and it's a good feeling. They usually say where one or two more people are gathered. Yes.
Oh, Ebony, hi! It's the cheekbones and the intellect for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah, you were saying before I cut you short. Sorry.
Yeah, Lucky Gamer is saying, if you marry twins, your kids will be cousins, but they will look alike.
That is very true.
At least
genetically they'll be
siblings. So at least it will save us the trip of giving birth to twins, because she'll have one and have one.
Yeah, so together we can dress them up as twins and present them to people as twins.
Yes.
But then we've seen such cases on TikTok where a set of twins married another set of twins and they had singleton babies, and the babies came out looking identical. So the babies genetically have been tested and identical
twins, but just a different kind. I think they've named it a different way. But guys, let us end the live here, because if we continue
in Swahili they say mambo ni mengi, muda machache, masaa ndio machache, meaning there's a lot of things to talk about and to say, but now
time is not on our side. Let me repeat for those who want to know the saying. Muda ni mengi, masaa
ni
ndio
machache.
machache.
Hopefully we can teach you all Kiswahili so that when you come to Kenya you already feel like a local because you can say habari.
You can haggle prices the African way.
When someone says I'm gonna sell this to you for $10, you say, "Oh, lucky gamer, thank you so much.
Thank you so
we have
much,
a
lucky
super chat
gamer.
there. Thank you,
Yes.
appreciate."
Yes.
Yeah, so they say when you come to Africa, you don't buy things in that
in the
price.
original price you've been told.
You have to haggle for prices for
Although
price
I do feel like the haggling culture is ending with our parents. Our generation going down, we don't know how to
They are
properly.
soft-hearted.
Yeah, we are soft-hearted. We don't know how
But
to
if
properly
someone sells you
haggle
for $10,
prices.
you can say take 8 instead. They do take that.
No,
So we'll teach you how to
some
do
know
that.
how to go even up to $5. You'd be surprised. So Africans are good hagglers. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for
Plant-based black man. Habari za jioni. I like that.
So plant-based black man has greeted us in Kiswahili. He's saying habari za jioni. That is good afternoon, right?
Good evening.
Good evening, sorry. So guys, tuonane kesho. Johnny, tuonane kesho. Let's see you guys tomorrow when we do our next episode. And we will be at 100K
by then. So for us, we are going to we are not sleeping right now. It's 11:21 p.m. by the way.
It's almost midnight.
Yeah, so we are not sleeping right now, but we are almost going to bed. Yeah,
right.
And for those ones of you who are going to work, we wanna wish you all the best. May your day today fill you with joy. May it bring you positive vibes.
Yeah, for those who are having lunch right now, in Kiswahili we say sambaza. Give us some lunch. Send some lunch if you're having lunch
right now. We eat together, right?
Right.
Only that for us, we've already eaten supper, dinner.
So, but guys, thank you so much. Let's see you on the next not live stream but episode, right?
And have a lovely day,
evening or morning, wherever you are,
or afternoon.
Right. Bye.
Bye. Okay.